Can a broken steering piston be repaired? In many places, it would be replaced with a new one. However, they can fully restore the piston with a welded steel plate in Pakistan and make it functional again. Today, we're going to see how resourceful they are in Pakistan. The steering gear we're looking at has an input shaft that can't rotate, affecting the truck steering. To inspect the internal damage, first need to remove the end cap of the rocker arm shaft. The main goal is to drain the gear oil completely to avoid interfering with the subsequent parts disassembly. Next, separate the stuck rocker arm shaft by tapping it loose, allowing the rack piston to be removed from the bottom. Upon close inspection, we found that the piston teeth had chipped, and two pieces were inside the steering gear. Although this piston looks beyond repair, it can be fully restored for just 5,000 rupees in Pakistan. To make it easier for lathe work, the conduit clamp on the piston needs to be further disassembled, allowing the internal screw and steel balls to separate. Welding the broken part won't work, so the technician plans to overlay a steel plate to restore it. After using calipers to record the piston's original length, the high-hardness piston must be heated with oxyacetylene. The heat treatment anneals the broken surface, reducing the piston's hardness and making the lathe work easier. Once the temperature of the piston end is just right, the outer diameter can be cut. Using the inside of the broken surface as the cutting reference, the piston is gradually reduced. The cutting must maintain a certain thickness while completely removing the fractured surface to allow the steel plate to be joined. After the broken surface is processed, the steel plate must compensate for the thickness lost in cutting. The plate center is drilled to match the freshly machined piston diameter, ensuring perfect alignment. As the center hole is enlarged, the plate must be precisely cut with an inner bore cutter to ensure a snug fit with the piston. Once the piston and plate are aligned, measurements are retaken with an outside micrometer and compared with a caliper gauge. Careful measurement prevents any gaps from being too large. After confirming the fit, the rust on the side of the piston is removed to avoid affecting the rack piston's movement. The contact surface is lubricated with engine oil to insert the piston smoothly, ensuring the hydraulic press doesn't crack the steel plate during pressing. Once the piston and steel plate are fully integrated, the seam is welded with a welding rod to prevent the plate from loosening during rotation. Next, the plate is turned circular using a lathe, restoring the piston's original diameter. However, since the steel plate and gear teeth still have a slight gap, the welding rod fills the gap, smoothing the surface to restore the gear teeth. Finally, as the technician continues to machine the steel plate, the raised welding spots are also smoothed down, ensuring consistent diameters. If the plate's thickness exceeds the piston's length, the excess material is removed, restoring the piston to its original dimensions. When grinding and recreating the third tooth, the technician uses clay to create a mold, sealing both sides completely to prevent the rocker arm shaft from damaging the teeth again. This mold provides a space for the gear teeth to be cast. Once the shape is formed, the aluminum block is heated with acetylene, allowing the molten aluminum to fill the tooth mold and recreate the tooth spacing. After maintaining the temperature with acetylene for 10 minutes, the hardened aluminum block is removed from the mold. It now serves as a reference for the tooth spacing. The steel plate is then ground flat, and the teeth are cut to the correct width with an angle grinder, restoring the third tooth to its original factory condition. The tooth mold is used to check the spacing, and with no gaps between the teeth, this repaired steering piston can now be used again. What do you think of this repair job? What score would you give if you had to rate it out of 10?